2004. That was the date that Trent Alexander-Arnold joined Liverpool 21 years ago. Trent since then has been central to Liverpool's success, beginning his career at the Liverpool Academy to now having won several trophies with the Reds and being a key player in their current Premier League title charge. However, amidst mounting speculation and agent Jude Bellingham looking to have done some major work, will Trent be saying goodbye to the Anfield Stadium with Real Madrid's Bernabeu Stadium in his sights? Trent wouldn't just be a luxury signing for Real Madrid. He could be that signing that would make sure Real Madrid dominate football for years to come. Or will he fall into the category of English players who failed at Real? Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the most phenomenal right-backs in the world, if not the best right-back in the world, actually. His closest competitor has to be the man that he is possibly going to replace at Real Madrid, Dani Carvajal. However, is Dani Carvajal really as good as Trent? The current Ballon d'Or rankings suggest Carvajal is better, but what do the stats say? Well, let's save that for later. No question Carvajal is an excellent right-back and has been a servant of Real Madrid for years and years, winning 6 Champions League. 6! However, he is 32 years old, turning 33 on the 11th of January. As a fullback with pacey wingers, he needs to be at the top of his game. This has been shown by Kyle Walker, who's been very disappointing these last few weeks. And he is 34, but the only reason he's managed to stay at his peak is because of his pace, an attribute that was never Dani's strongest. Madrid want to invest in the future of their defence, and especially right-back. Or maybe they would play Trent in midfield. With Kroos retiring and now Modric, do they need more creativity higher up the pitch? With La Liga being viewed as a less intense league than the Premier League, Trent would have more time on the ball and more freedom to pick out the Madridsters such as Jude Bellingham, Vinny Jr., Mbappe and Rodrigo. This seems too good to be true. Would Trent be played as a centre mid or as right back? Would he even play over the likes of Camavinga or Tchouaméni? Madrid fans, let us know. I have to admit, it's quite interesting that Trent's in discussion for one of the best right-backs. I mean, if you asked Trent when he was still in the Liverpool Academy, he definitely would tell you that he was going to be one of the world's best centre midfielders or wide attacking midfielders. Trent wasn't originally a fullback, but it was a position he had to switch to because that was the only way he could get into the team. However, his experience as a wide midfielder from his academy days made him a different type of fullback. And when Trent made his professional debut on the 25th of October 2016 against Tottenham in the League Cup, he showed this. Well, he also got a bit lucky, as he for sure could have seen a red card in that match, but all great sportsmen will tell you that you need a bit of luck every now and then. Trent had shown enough for Liverpool to want to keep him around the first team, but with Nathaniel Clyne around, he was far from being the main man, which seems crazy now. Trent was reliable when called on, and his different approach to the game as a fullback made him like an extra midfielder for Liverpool. Like a midfielder, Trent had incredible vision and could pull off pinpoint passes, switches and sublime crosses, but more on his skill set and how he plays soon. Trent got his proper chance in the 2017-18 season when Nathaniel Clyne was injured and completely locked in. He provided excellent performances for Liverpool, including that superb free-kick goal against Hoffenheim in that season's Champions League. Yet this guy had barely begun. He continued to improve and became a creative powerhouse for Liverpool. He made them better, unpredictable and more lethal. In the 2018-19 season, Trent produced some crazy assist stats that some wingers and midfielders couldn't touch. In that season, he broke the Premier League record for the most assists by a defender in a season with 12 assists. Unfortunately, those assists weren't quite enough for Liverpool to win the league, but they did play a crucial role in helping Liverpool win their 6th Champions League. And Trent earned a Ballon d'Or nomination for his efforts. All of this in his first full season as a starter. Since then, he's won the Premier League and even become the defender with the most assists in the competition's history. Unbelievable. Trent's influence in the Liverpool squad continued, and just when many thought he was done with his evolution as a player, well, Trent unlocked another tactical growth in the 22-23 season. Liverpool had been going through a poor run of form, with Trent also facing criticism for his defensive abilities. He was getting beaten a little too easily, and perhaps his defence awareness had not yet fully matured. And in trying to find a solution for the team, Jurgen Klopp began to invert Trent into the midfield. What this did was allow Trent to be able to use his skill sets more by helping Liverpool retain possession of the ball and passing it with more freedom and more of a creative license in the midfield and with less defensive responsibility. Trent continued his form for Liverpool in the 23-24 season and has been a crucial player in the 24-25 season. Unlike the past two seasons when Trent had to invert, Arne Slot, the current Liverpool coach who's doing an unbelievable job with Liverpool, returned him to his traditional fullback role, with Liverpool playing a double pivot in the midfield instead, and so far, Trent has provided 4 assists and scored a sweet goal against West Ham. He's an important player in Liverpool's title charge and has played a key role for them since the Jurgen Klopp days. This is why Liverpool fans would be very sad to see him leave the club. Click here for our video on Liverpool this season and subscribe if you enjoy. So Trent is in the final year of his Liverpool contract, and for some time now he has been unwilling to sign a new one. Since he is in the last year of his contract, Trent is now allowed to enter into negotiations with other teams from the new year. According to reports, Trent has declined an extension at Liverpool because he wants to go to Real Madrid. These reports claim that everything is ready for him and all that's left for Trent to do is sign as soon as the transfer window opens in January. The fullback has allegedly told the Liverpool hierarchy that he wants a new challenge. From his point of view, it's totally understandable. I mean, he's won the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup and the Club World Cup with the Reds. However, his celebration against West Ham indicated that all the talk and speculation was just rumours. But this has happened countless times over the years where players do a celebration like this and then leave, even just weeks later. Real Madrid haven't made the right back position a priority over the years. They have recruited for the midfield and attack, but have been heavily reliant on Dani Carvajal over the years, who you could argue made them feel like they didn't need to invest as he was so reliable. It was this over-reliance that made Achraf Hakimi leave Madrid, as he didn't feel like the club trusted him. Anytime Carvajal got injured, like he did early in the 24-25 season, Real usually draft in Lucas Vázquez as his backup, and in this 24-25 season, they've even tried Fede Valverde in that position when Vázquez was also unfit. Now, it looks like Real Madrid will be getting a sweet deal, as they would get to sign Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free transfer. However, does Arnold have what it takes to be an undisputed starter in Madrid? Can he displace Carvajal from that position just as he displaced Nathaniel Clyne from the Liverpool starting lineup? Well, Trent is undoubtedly one of the best right-backs in the world. He has incredible attacking instincts, which will make him slot right in at Real Madrid. Real Madrid love fullbacks who can attack. Roberto Carlos, Marcelo, even Carvajal himself. They're scary when they bomb along the flanks, whipping dangerous crosses in, and Trent is about to be another scary player in white doing so. Lionel Messi described Trent as the future of how coaches would view the fullback position. Legendary fullback Cafu believes Trent has the style of a Brazilian, and this makes sense, but more of it later on. Former Manchester United defender Gary Neville described Trent as the David Beckham and Kevin De Bruyne of right-back. Trent's praises from these legendary football players come from his style of play. Trent's style is heavily reliant on his creativity. This fuels his pinpoint passing, crossing, chance creation and assists. It's also why Trent can easily invert into the midfield and cause damage to the opponents from there, and this makes Trent surpass Carvajal in terms of tactical deployment. Another aspect Trent is better than Carvajal in is their attacking output. In 333 games for Liverpool so far, Trent has scored 20 goals and has had 85 assists, compared to Carvajal, who currently has 18 goals and 82 assists in 531 games. Now, granted, Carvajal's injury has put Trent ahead of him, but the number of games that the two have played to arrive at their numbers shouldn't be ignored. Trent has done what he did in 198 less games, and he's just hitting his prime, which means there's a possibility that he has more to give. And if you believe that the Prem is the best league in the world, as many do, this would also be a factor. Apart from the goals and assists, Trent affects the game more with his passes. In the 23-24 season, Trent made more progressive passes than Carvajal. He created 17 big chances, while Carvajal only had 4. Trent also completed more long balls with a 44% accuracy. Trent also carried the ball more and even completed more crosses with an average of 2 crosses per game with 33% accuracy compared to Carvajal barely hitting a cross a game. However, Trent is not as balanced as Carvajal. He is prone to mistakes in defence. But from his last season's performances, his defensive issues may have been more exaggerated. Carvajal was the better player when it came to tackles, averaging 1.7 per game. He rarely got dribbled past and had 1.6 clearances each game and won 54% of his aerial duels. The only area Trent beat Carvajal defensively was in ground duels, and that was even barely. Trent won 2.7% of his ground duels and Carvajal won 2.6%. So, do you think Trent will easily be Madrid's undisputed right back? Perhaps with the stereotypically less intense league, Trent will have more space and freedom to take advantage of his strengths. He will certainly be a wonderful addition to Madrid, and he could be that X factor when it comes to chance creation, especially now with Toni Kroos retiring and Luka Modric soon to follow suit. However, he really has to work on the defensive aspect of his game or heavily compensate for it with his ability on the ball when going forward in attack. Or maybe, will he be a midfielder for Los Blancos? Real Madrid are already the team to beat in the world, and now, with Trent, well, who can stop them?